You guys, I know, I bought some patterns, but these patterns are going with fabrics that I picked up during my last Joann's haul, as well as fine fabric. Okay, so we pick up fabric, right? And then we don't use it. We put it in our stash and just don't use it. It collects dust. One thing I told myself this year that I'm gonna stop doing that. So when I completely selected these 9 patterns from simplicity.com, these are all from the summer collection. I was like, guess what? This is the perfect time for me to use those fabrics that I just purchased in the last 2 months, month and a half. When did I go to Frock Tales? First part of May, matter of fact, and we are in June. So I'm already looking at fabrics that I just picked up to pair with these patterns. So without further ado, to keep this video short, sweet, and to the point, let's go ahead and get into the 9 patterns that I picked up during the Simplicity $4.99 sale. Hey everyone, I'm Rochelle, and honestly, I'm not the girl that gives you all the pattern sales. We'll get back to that, but your girl's been hella busy, so that's why I have not been giving you the pattern sale. But I am the girl that gives you all the sew-alongs and behind the scenes of any and everything in between. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you guys the 9 patterns that I picked up from simplicity.com. I'm also going to be sharing with you the fabrics that I'm going to be pairing with these. Now, the goal is to hopefully sew these patterns this summer because this is the summer drop, right? But I do have a lot of things on my summer plans. I want to finish up everything that I have batch cut in the last month. That is priority number 1. I'm also working on a live whip summer series all the way until August 8th to sew up the bag, the entire basket that I showed you guys about 2-3 weeks ago, right? So that's on the docket for this summer. So if I do not get to these, make note that it has to be sewn up by spring of 2026. And the reason why I say that is because, baby, Hub and I, we already talked about how I'm already taking up like 5 rooms in this house. We talking about I'm taking over the garage. I'm taking over the closet underneath the stairs. I'm taking over the office closet. That's my office closet. I think I probably have a couple of things in his office closet too. We ain't gonna talk about that. And then I have my own studio, okay, downstairs. So don't count. Just be with me on this, all right? I've been taking a lot of space with fabrics and patterns, and y'all know how it is. If you have a husband, more power to your husband because they're probably saying the same thing about you. Like, listen to that girl. She probably got a lot of rooms in her room too. So come on now. You guys know how it is. All right. So happy wife, happy life. Happy spouse, happy house too. All right. So we're going to go ahead and get into these 9 simplicity patterns. So without further ado, keep this video short, sweet, and to the point. It's time to go ahead and get into it. All right, so first pattern, of course you guys know it's Mimi G's. It's Simplicity 3128. Now, 3128 is basically a missus dress in 2 lengths. I'm going to put all of the patterns up on the screen so you're able to see it. You guys know I do that so you guys can see it in full form. So let's go ahead and put it up on the screen. It's 3128. Now, 3128, I plan on doing the longer view, which is view B. It's basically a fitted dress. I want to do the midi length. I like the fact that it's gathered at the butt and have the ties enclosed in the neckline casing there. Some of the fabrics that you can use, the chambray, cotton blends, not gingham, gabardine. You can use gingham, by the way, gabardine, linen. You can use a lot of different fabrics. One thing that I will mention is you need 10 buttons. Now, the fabric, and I'm going to show you the fabric on the table. However, the plan is to possibly sew 2. 1 solid, 1 plaid or gingham, right? Now, I have this mint gingham fabric from my stash that I picked up many moons ago. And when I say many moons ago, I want to say definitely about 5 to 6 years. No, it was way old before I even moved to Florida. I moved to Florida almost 5 years ago. So I want to say about 7 to 8 years ago, I picked up this fabric. It's still in my stash because I wanted to do a whole gingham collection. Haven't made it around to that yet. So with that being said, I want to either use the mint green or purple for this dress, all right, in a gingham. But I also want to do it in a solid, and the solid that I want to do is either a pink or probably, I have a floral that I'm going to show you. I either want to do it in that floral. I think floral and gingham are the two that I'm going to probably look to do for this dress. But once again, this pattern is 3128. Let's go ahead and move over to the next pattern. Next pattern is 3134, and this pattern is a Mrs. Ruffled button front top. It has multiple sleeve variations as well. Now, the view that I'm most interested in is view A, but I'm also interested in view C. Now, for view A, I'm thinking I'm going to do 2 in view A because that's what I'm most interested in. Now, one of the views the only view A. Now, one of the tops that I want to make from view A, I want to do it in a stripe, okay? And I'm either thinking of doing a black and white stripe or a navy white and blue stripe. That doesn't even make sense. What's wrong with me today? All right, so let's try this again. I either want to do black and white stripes or navy blue and white stripe. That's what it is. All right. So I want to do either one of those fabrics and do that in a stripe for view A. However, I want to make a second top, and that needs to be in a Ankara. Reason being is because I want to take that same Ankara fabric and pair it with something else, which is one of the patterns that I picked up. All right. So I always have something in mind when I'm using like an Ankara fabric. I tend to use all of my fabric when I get ready to cut it, all right? I just hate having like these, what you want to call it, scrap fabric, okay? So we got to use all the fabric when I get ready to cut it, all right? But that's the plan for 3134. Let's go ahead and move over to the next pattern. Next pattern is 3135. And listen, I love this Mrs. Wrap top with the collar, sleeve variation. So yes, when I saw this pattern, first of all, I thought I was going to do it like in a floral, but then I got to thinking and I was just like, nah, let's not do it in a floral. Let's go ahead and do it in a Ankara fabric. So I'm on the fence with this Ankara fabric that I want to use. But definitely let me know if you think it would work for this pattern, all right? I'm going to show the fabric on the table, so don't worry. Settle down, all right? But this pattern is 3135. Let's go ahead and move over to the next pattern. Next up is 3136, and this is Mrs. and Woman's button-up shirt. Now with this one, the reason why I picked this one up is because I like to tuck. Even though I do have Raven from Raven Marine's pattern for that one, and hers have like a U shape at the bottom. I like this one as well, and I could see myself doing both view A and view B. I want to use a solid color. I'm on the fence with the color that I want to use because I want to use like the sea moss green, but I could also use a teal color for that because I do not have a teal color button down shirt, but I definitely have like a sea moss green shirt, not the same color, but it's a little darker. So I'm on the fence on which one I want to use, but I'm going to share that on the table with you guys because Why not? All right. But once again, it's 3136. Moving over to the next pattern. Next one is 3137, and this is a pair of Mrs. Pleated shorts and pants. Now, for the shorts, which is view A, I want to use a Ankara fabric. And the fabric that I showed you for 3134, which is the ruffle button-down shirt, I want to use that same Ankara fabric for the shorts. However, for the pants, I want to use just a solid teal fabric in order to do the pants. It would make sense to do that because then I could pair those shorts with 3134, the top, the ruffle top, but I could also pair the pants, which is the same color in the Ankara fabric, thanks to baby girl, my daughter, for going out in my garage and picking the fabric and pairing them together to make sure that, baby, the colors match to the T. Thank baby girl for that. All right, so I could pair 3134, the Ankara top, with the pants. I could pair it also with the shorts. Money winning here, all right? But once again, this pattern is 3137. Let's go ahead and move over to the next pattern. Next up is 3138, very easy to sew pattern. Now, I am most interested in sewing up view B. I definitely want to make this in a striped fabric. Now, I can see myself making it in a solid, but solid would be boring simply because it has a godette and it has different angles that you could pair if you do it in stripes. So therefore, I want to do this in a navy blue and white striped fabric, but I could also see myself doing it in a black and white striped fabric from my stash as well. So that's the plan because I could take that, pair it with a white shirt, a navy blue, a white button-down shirt, a black shirt, so many different ways. I have lots of options for this skirt in my head already, and I haven't even started sewing this pattern up, let alone printing it out or sending it to the print shop. I haven't even done that, and I'm already thinking of ideas of how. Y'all know how I do. All right, enough said. But once again, this is 3138. Let's go ahead and move over to the next pattern. Next pattern is 3140, which is a Mimi G's knit cord set. Now, here's the thing. I have fabric in my stash upstairs where I keep all my knits. However, I want to say I do not have a knit in mind for this one just yet. Now, I don't want something boring of just having it all in solid black because I feel like I have a lot of black dresses and skirts and, you know, A-line skirts and yeah, I feel like, or slip skirt. I feel like I have a lot of black, even though black is straight. You know, I love black. I think I just want to make it in something else other than black. I could see definitely making this in like a plum purple for the fall would be cute. I could definitely see it making it in like a red. Red would be cute. Navy blue would be cute. I just have to see because I might have to order some fabric for this one. But once again, it's 3140. I love the mermaid at the bottom, mermaid skirt. I love the top as well. I would definitely make it a lot longer to be able to wear it to work, you know, because any piece that I make or pattern that I buy, it has to be suitable for work because that's where I spend most of my time. And you guys know this year is all about work wear, okay? If I can't wear it to work, baby, I cannot get it, okay? But let's go ahead and move over to the last pattern that I picked up. Well, second to the last pattern that I picked up. So this pattern is 3142. You guys know your girl love a good blazer. And this one is a cord set, a blazer, and a skirt. Now, here's the thing. I cannot wear a skirt to work. Okay? So, definitely the skirt will be made, but I can't wear it to work. So the plan is to take that blazer. I want to make it in a solid teal color, but also take a different pant pattern, which I don't have a pant pattern in mind per se. I might use 3137 pants to pair with it since it's going to be in a solid color, and just use the blazer. Your girl's thinking, I'm on to something here, right? So 3142, I think I'm going to take that blazer and the pants from 3137 and make a whole suit. I think that would be amazing. Your girl is banging right now, all right? And then the skirt, definitely wear it on the weekend, pair it together with other things. I could also pair that blazer with the shorts. That's going to be an Ankara, which is 3137. Boom. Your girl is amazing. Didn't y'all just see that power move? Yeah. Okay. But that's the plan. 3142 is that pattern. Let's go ahead and move over to the last pattern. So the last pattern is 3143. Now, the plan for this is definitely pajamas. However, I normally do not sew up pajamas, but I like this one, and I definitely want to do it in a stripe. You guys, it seemed like what was in mind for this entire collection was Ankara fabric, solid fabric, and stripes. Nothing else. But do you blame me? Okay. But anyway, this one right here, I feel like this would be good. And I have a polka dot challis fabric that I could actually use for lining. But I also think that this one would be really, really cute. I would have to go outside to my stash to show you. But what I'm really thinking about doing is using the black and white stripe that I have, that I purchased from Joann's before they closed, in order to sew this up. But I'm not making this for pajamas. I'm making this to take my happy tail out the house to work in. Just jazz it up just a little bit. Just a little bit. Throw some heels on it. No one would know that you're wearing pajamas. Okay? That's what you have to do sometimes. Take those pajama patterns and make it some out of wear patterns. Okay? Wear it out the house. All right? Well, those are all 9 patterns that I picked up during the Simplicity.com sale for $4.99. This sale is still going on until Wednesday, June the 25th. So if you are looking for some Simplicity patterns, go ahead and run on over to Simplicity.com so you can do that. I do want to caution you that shipping has been on the slow end. So if you purchase it in paper form, it may be a delay. You're welcome. If you spend $75 or more, it is free shipping. You have that there as well. All right. Well, that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed. If this video was educational, inspiring, and fun, you guys know what to do. Give your girls a thumbs up on this video. Comment in the comment section below and let me know which pattern and fabric you are most interested in seeing me sew up. Share this video with a sewing bestie who can use this information, because many of you guys always hit me up and be like, girl, how are you doing these wardrobe collections? How do you style these pieces together? Listen, it's just in the mind, style it. I don't know. I just don't know. I just come up with something off and hope that it works out. To be honest with you, that's exactly what I did. And do what's free, y'all. And that's subscribe, because it's free. You're not paying anything. This is free content. All right. Well, that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed. Until next time, keep sewing.
It's been a long time and I miss this feeling. It feels like freedom, it feels like healing. Floating off the floor, past the ceiling. The wind in my hair, I can see the light at the end of the tunnel as I'm taking flight. Man, I'm feeling like myself again. Hey.